Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, welcome to the Wednesday 6:30 a.m. Self-Care at Work show. It is Wednesday, November the 19th. And if you're watching this live, it is 6:30 in the morning. If you're watching this on repeat, I filmed this at 6:30 in the morning on Wednesday, November the 19th. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Next week is Thanksgiving. Yes, it is. And I'm still on next Wednesday. I still will be coming on live. So every Wednesday I will be live. So it's Wednesday, 6:30 in the morning. I am Belinda Harris, your self-care at work advocate, your HR expert, your safe space for stressed out workers. And on Wednesdays, I go live to talk about a self-care at work topic because we hear about self-care all the time, but we rarely, if ever, hear about self-care at work, things that we can do at work. And that is what I talk about on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 6:30, talk about self-care at work and things that we can do. And today, we're going to talk about another couple of things that you can do at work, not after work, but at work. Because so many of us are struggling with burnout because we treat our work days like a sprint, right? With no water breaks. Let this live, if you're watching it live, or let this video if you're watching it later. Let this be your permission slip to slow down, right? Your permission slip to slow down and your toolkit to build better boundaries. Let this video be that for you today because we aren't talking about quitting your job. I'm not talking about that today. I'm talking about strategic energy management. And my goal this morning is to give you 3 foundational strategies that protect your physical and mental health without compromising your performance. So, if you're watching this now or later, I want to know, how well do you feel that you integrate self-care into your workday? Would you say you're 10 perfect? 10. I do self-care at work, or would you say you're closer to the 1, 2, or 3 range, right? Strategy number 1, and I've talked about boundaries before, but strategy number 1 is the boundary block. And what is that, Belinda? That is your personal digital fence around your energy. The boundary block is your digital fence. It's for you, personal, around your energy. It's an act of self-preservation. You're saving that. You're putting a fence around that. That's what a boundary block is. And a boundary block, this is what I want you to do. A boundary block is a minimum of 15 minutes. It's on the calendar to hold the slot. You put it on the calendar as if it's a meeting. Every day it is non-negotiable. Hear me when I say that. People will be like, oh no, it is non-negotiable. You're going to put it on your calendar. You allow your meetings or other tasks to fill up space around it. But on that 15-minute boundary block, a minimum, it could be more than that. But on that, you're going to call it deep work recharge. Do not disturb. Who's going to do that? You're going to put it on your calendar as if it's a meeting, because it's a meeting. Because it's just as important as a meeting. Every day, non-negotiable. It's going to say deep work recharge. Do not disturb. Now, why 15 minutes? Why at least 15 minutes? Because it's the sweet spot. It's long enough to truly disconnect, to let your cortisol levels drop, but not so long that it feels impossible to defend. See, you need this mental palate cleanser, if you will, to shift from reactive to proactive mode. And these 15 minutes of just for you is what you put that in for. Now you may be saying, okay, Belinda, I got it on my calendar. I got these precious boundary block. What do I do for this protective time? I'm going to give you some examples. For your mind, you can do a short mindfulness exercise or listen to a motivational podcast. You can do that for those 15 minutes for your mind. To be creative, you can journal for 5 minutes about what you're grateful for, or just doodle. Just that's being creative. For tactile, you can brew a special cup of tea and focus only on the scent and taste, right? That's all you're focusing on for those 15 minutes. The scent, the smell of it, and the taste of it. See, this block is about engaging your senses away from the screen. A 15-minute boundary block is not you on the phone, doom scrolling. That doesn't give you back anything. That's not what you do during your 15-minute boundary block. You want to do something that will block, because this block is supposed to engage your senses away from the screens, away from work. Now, if you're watching this live or if you're watching it on a replay, I want you to take your phone out right now and look at your calendar and block your 15-minute boundary block right now. I want you to stop what you're doing, grab your phone, put in your 15-minute boundary block on your calendar now. Don't wait. I'll do it later. Nope. Hit pause if you watch it on replay. Hit pause. Go put it on your calendar. Here's my 15-minute boundary block. If you're watching it live, stop what you're doing. Put it on your calendar, your 15-minute boundary block. That's strategy 1. Strategy number 2 is the hydration and movement rule. We've talked about that many times too on this channel. And this link, we're putting them together. This links 2 essential physical needs, which is water and motion, to break up the monotony of sitting. Because if you're like me, you can be on a roll, getting it done. You look up and hours have passed. You haven't took a sip of water and you've done no stretches, right? But on this, we're going to put 2 things together. And the rule is that every time you reach for your water bottle, or if you need to refill it, so you got to make sure you're drinking your water, you must perform a set movement routine, right? So we're building a powerful habit loop where thirst leads to water and water leads to movement. We're going to put them together. Every time you go drink, I need to do a movement. Every time I need to refill my bottle, I need to go do a movement. Because sitting still for hours impacts circulation and posture. But mentally getting up resets your short-term memory and improves blood flow to the brain, which means better focus and decision-making when you return to your desk. Now, let's talk about the movement, right? Because it doesn't need to be low effort, but it needs to be high impact. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you can do. You can do the 3-part shoulder roll. That's where you roll your shoulders. You could stand up and do it, or you could do it sitting, but you roll your shoulders forward 5 times, right? Then you roll it back 5 times. And then you do the shoulder drop, shoulder shrug, or shoulder drop, where you just let it go. Really letting the tension fall out. You can do that 5 times. So you drink your water. Oh, now I got to do movement. You can do the shoulder rolls. Forward 5, backwards 5, shrug 5. You can also do the torso twist, seated or standing, where you place your hands behind your head and you twist slightly with your upper body side to side, holding a few seconds each side, right? You can do that. You can also do neck stretches, where you gently drop your ear towards your shoulder, holding for a slow count of 10, right? On each side. You can do it in the front, you can do it in the side, and you can do it on the other side. This targets the primary tension points from computer work because we're so used to holding our neck tight, typing. But when we do the neck exercise, right, that helps. You can choose a one seated exercise and one standing exercise and rotate through them. The key, though, is to be consistent. So every time you hydrate, you move. All right. The final strategy. So I said we're going to go over 3. The final strategy today is about protecting the end of your day and reducing the mental load. And on this, we're going to do what's called stoplight email system. Stoplight. This is a system for processing, not reading. And this relates to your emails. So you're at the end of the day, we're doing a stoplight email system. And that is when you open your inbox, you're not just reading, you're assigning one of these traffic light actions. So for red, which is stop, this needs more than 15 minutes of dedicated time, or it requires collaboration, right? You're reading it, oh, this is going to take more than 15 minutes. Or you're reading it, oh, this is going to take me getting with blah, blah, blah. Do not handle it now. Drag it into a folder labeled scheduled task and put a 15-minute block on your calendar tomorrow to handle it. So 2 things. You're moving into the folder saying, I don't have time. It's at the end of the day. I don't have time to do it today because it's going to take more than 15 minutes and or I need somebody else to collaborate with this to get it done. I'm going to move it to a folder called scheduled task, and I'm going to go to my calendar, put a 15-minute block, schedule task to get this task done. 2 parts, because you're going to handle it tomorrow. The yellow, which is caution. This needs a quick 3 to 5 minute, maybe even 10-minute response or action. If it needs that, you're reading the email and it's quick, something you can do now, you don't have to collaborate with anybody, then do it. Do it now and archive it. Done. Done. That's yellow, your emails. And then green. Green is archive it, delete it, or if it's only FY, because sometimes we get way too many FY emails. If it's only FY, there's nothing that you could do. There's nothing you could do. No response needed. It's done. So at the end of the day, red light, yellow light, green light, because this massive benefit is psychological. And you don't feel guilty closing your laptop because you've processed everything and proactively scheduled the big stuff, right? You prevent the email creep at night that makes you check your inbox at 9 p.m. one last time. Because did I miss something? No. That way, when you're done, and your work is intentionally closed. You've been through your emails. You've gotten things. If it's something you need to work on, you got it on your schedule to handle for the next day. So you're not dropping any balls. You can intentionally say, I'm done for the day. Your mind can rest. A quick review of the 3 pillars of the self-care at work is what I'm calling today, is the boundary block, which is 15 minutes, which hopefully if you're watching this, you've already scheduled your 15-minute boundary block. It's the hydration and movement rule. Every time you take a sip of water, you're doing a movement. And then it's the stoplight email system at the end of the day. See, you are the CEO of your own well-being. And work is a marathon, not a sprint. And you cannot win or finish a marathon by running on empty. Give yourself the small breaks and boundaries you need to show up better, not just for your job, but for life outside of it. The one thing I want to leave with you today is that self-care at work matters because you matter. Your health matters. You cannot show up for your coworkers, for your job if you're not showing up for yourself. And self-care at work is the first start in doing that. My name is Belinda Harris. Every Wednesday, I go live at 6:30 in the morning to talk about self-care at work. On this channel is a safe space for stressed out workers. I am going to start a community where we'll dive deeper into these topics and provide resources, because we need to come together as a community to help support each other during times such as this. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have the rest of your day as well. I'll see you on the next video.